I've been talking about this play, this AI crypto play ahead of the NVIDIA earnings report for the last couple months. I do believe that still it is now a good time to get in on this. They're doing exactly what I thought they would do, these AI cryptocurrencies leading up to the NVIDIA earnings report, which is on May 22nd, the day that I'm making this video. It is exactly 2 weeks from that day. And so I want to analyze with this video, is it still a good time to get in? And what do we do after the NVIDIA earnings? Because I've given different thoughts on that, and I wanted to nail something down for this video because a lot of you have been asking, what do we do? You know, do we sell the day of for the short-term play, or do we hold on, you know, hope that NVIDIA blows their earnings out of the water? I have some thoughts on that, but before we dive on in, this is not financial advice. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Please do your own research. I am not a financial advisor, and while I appreciate that so many of you are hopping in here from all over the place, you've got to hit that subscribe button. I make videos multiple times a week. I try to go live multiple times a week, just trying as much as possible to keep up with this rapidly evolving crypto space. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification button as well. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive on into this. And so I do want to remind you about the play here. So I made this tweet on May 2nd, 2024. 10:48 a.m. That's the second green candle here. I've been saying that I was going to buy some AI cryptos ahead of the next NVIDIA earnings report, which is 20 days from the day of the making of this tweet. 14 days from the day of this video. So I tweeted this yesterday, and you can see the second green candle is when I bought in. Didn't quite get the bottom. I'm perfectly fine with that. And then it's been nothing but green. So I've seen fantastic returns on my investment as I've seen this render buy go from under $8 to above $10. And I still think it's going to go higher. I still think now is a good time, even to the point where I just, before starting to make this video, opened up a 3x leverage long at a market price. If I lose on that, so be it. I just put a few $100 in there just to get a little bit more exposure to this play. I think that it's going to work out well. And so you can see render from the day that I bought it has been doing very well. Not quite at an all-time high yet, which I'm excited about. And AIOZ was the other one that I talked about in that tweet. Same deal. I bought the second green candle here, and it's been doing very well since then. Also not quite at an all-time high. So what's the mindset here? What was I thinking about? Well, I remember earlier this year when the NVIDIA earnings report was coming up in February. And the thing you've got to understand about NVIDIA is that it is dominating the market right now. It is such a significant moment, NVIDIA's earnings report. If NVIDIA does well, it seems as if the entire stock market is going to do well. If it does poorly, which it hasn't done yet. It hasn't done poorly yet ever since this time where it's become this central moment. And so leading up, this is what I observed, leading up to the NVIDIA earnings report, we can see that there was lots of buying of AIOZ. And then the day of the NVIDIA earnings release, we saw a bit of a sell-off, a bit of a sell the news event, but then what happened here, that was the NVIDIA conference, which we don't have an NVIDIA conference to look forward to, but there was a bit of a sell-off. There was some selling off very shortly after the earnings date. Same deal for render here. You can see in January 2024, render starts rising, NVIDIA earnings date, and then it does have a dump, and then another big move higher ahead of the NVIDIA conference, which again, we don't have. And you can see it's the same thing happening right now. We have time. Time is our friend. And so render and AIOZ are my two picks. I'm not looking at Fetch, Ajax, or Ocean because I just don't know what logistically the merge is going to look like. But are there other AI cryptos on the list here that we could be looking at? So I just want to scroll down very quickly through my watch list and look for certain AI cryptos. And the ones that I would say, the ones that are doing well are the ones that I would buy. Now, Akash is doing okay. You can see it got rejected at resistance here over the last couple of days. That might be a good one to get into. There were some other ones that I wanted to look at. Pal AI. Let me scroll down to Pal AI. Let me look at Chlor first, actually. Try to go alphabetically here. Chlor is doing okay. it's doing okay. You know, that's actually doing pretty well. So Chlor might be a good one to get into. You guys know that I really do like Chlor. I could see Chlor doing very well from here. And then PAL, I know that PAL AI has been doing very well. That's another one that I'd be very interested in looking at. So you can see PAL, it was under 30 cents at one point, and now it's, you know, hanging around 50 cents, messing around with its 50-day EMA. And then Tau was another one that I wanted to look at, and I hope I'm just going to be honest with you. Right at this moment, it's thundering really badly, and I don't know how much you're hearing that. So I'm trying to speak a little bit louder, but I'm just going to keep going. So Tau's doing okay. I would actually, I mean, Tau is very much oversold. I would stick with some of the ones we've already talked about: Render, Chlor, AIOZ, and what was the other one? PAL, you know, and Akash, you know, maybe Akash as well. And so what do we do? This is still a play in my opinion. We still have time. I still expect these cryptocurrencies to go higher. When do you sell? Now, I do want to be clear. I have a long-term bag that I am not selling from my stock, but I am selling the ones that I bought, you know, in the entire bag. I do plan on selling leading into the NVIDIA earnings report. And so the question is, will I sell the day of, the day before, or will I hold on to a little bit until after the report releases? In my opinion right now, this might change, but in my opinion right now, my expectation is that I'm going to sell half of it leading up to the morning of the NVIDIA earnings report. Half of my Render, half of my AIOZ. If I do buy PAL, maybe some of that as well. But then trying to do some analysis as to whether what's going to happen. What is going to happen? Is NVIDIA going to keep the run going? My suspicion, even though they've been on an incredible hot streak that can't go on forever, my suspicion is that they're going to do very well again. So here's a couple things that I'm looking at here. Their gross profit margin quarterly, this is just insane. It's insane. It is. You can see this is since 2000, just in an uptrend. And then NVIDIA EBIT margin quarterly, 64.17%, gross profit margin 75.97%. So not only are they making more money, but they're making more profits off of the money that they're making. And I expect this trend to continue higher. I don't know exactly where it's going to be, but you can see we are in an upswing with NVIDIA, with their earnings, with their profits. So that's going to be something that I think people are going to receive very well. And then another thing here, this is the closest thing to bad news that I could find about NVIDIA. Wait times for NVIDIA's AI GPUs eased to 3 to 4 months, suggesting peak in near-term growth. The wait list for an H100 was previously 11 months. So here's thinking about FUD, you know, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt with NVIDIA. The wait time has been reduced to 3 to 4 months. Maybe that means they're just being more productive. This is not bad news to me. In fact, it's a confirmation that they're just going to continue to be insanely profitable moving forward. So with that in mind, in my opinion, I'm thinking about selling half, maybe the day before. Selling half either the day before or the morning of, but then waiting until after the earnings report to sell the rest. I wouldn't wait too long, 24 hours max after the earnings report to sell the rest of that short-term bag. My longer-term holdings I will be holding those for quite a while. And so that's my plan. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And I do want to remind you simply of a couple things here. If you click this join button, you can join this channel as a member. We have member-only live streams every Tuesday and Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be expanding that. I'll be doing more member-only live streams throughout the bear market, which is when you're going to especially want to consider joining this channel, as we make money through trading, through making money on the ups and downs. There is money to be made on the downtrend. And so throughout the bear market, I will still be active on this channel. Click the join button and we'll have opportunities to trade. And then if you're looking for a place to trade, here's my recommendation. Sign up for 3 free months of NordVPN so you can gain access to various trading platforms that are not available in the United States, or, you know, there's some that are not available in the UK. For example, Bing X is not available in the United States or UK. So I use NordVPN. I connect in Australia, and I am allowed to use use BingX by being connected to Australia. It's worked out very well for me. I do half of my trading there and half on Bitmart, but BingX, if you use my referral code, you will gain access to a lot of benefits, a lot of incentives to transfer your crypto to their portfolio up to a few $1,000s. So check that out. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day, a wonderful rest of your week, and I will most certainly be seeing you in another video. Peace.